Hello viewers, welcome to the session on common errors in pronunciation. Well, for English, we have 4 pillars to develop the 4 language skills. If listening, speaking, reading and writing are the 4 skills, the 4 pillars, the foundation, the basics, the essentials to develop these 4 skills are vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation and punctuation. Punctuation for written communication, pronunciation for spoken communication. So today we are going to study one of the important aspects of spoken communication, that is pronunciation. The focus is with special reference to, with special regard to or respect to Telugu speakers who use English language. I repeat, I've taken few examples of words that are mispronounced in terms of Telugu speakers who use English language. What are the common mispronunciations of these Telugu speakers when they use English language? Some of the words are mispronounced. Some of the words are wrongly pronounced. We see the influence of mother tongue in their pronunciation. Their accent is not neutralized. So what is that neutralization of accent or accent neutralization? How to do that? How to become a neutral English language user or communicator or speaker is the essence or the gist of this video. So I'm sure all of you will be benefited by that. Watch this carefully. I've got very wonderful examples, phonetic transcriptions, and the usage part of it in spoken communication. So let's go ahead and see all the, or at least a few of those common errors in pronunciation with special respect to Telugu speakers who use English language. Here we go. Well, it is not what you say, it is how you say that is important. I repeat, it is not what you say, it is how you say is what is important. Pronunciation is the most important factor in English, since vocabulary and grammar, they do not guarantee students good communication and enable the listener to be understood. So we cannot say if I have good grammar, good vocabulary, my spoken communication will be taken care of. No. I should be in a position to pronounce, to throw up the words neutrally without the influence of mother tongue. Now, while I'm talking to you, on this channel, through this camera, to all of you, if you are not able to identify my mother tongue, if you are not able to recognize what my mother tongue is, then yes, I'm trying to use neutral English language. Okay, fine. Imitation is one of the key factors in pronunciation. You see, all of us, we observe the way native speakers pronounce English words, English sentences, the stress markers that they use, the kind of vowel sounds, the consonant sounds that they use in connected speech or spoken communication, the intonation, modulation of voice, weak forms and strong forms that they use, okay, past tense markers and plural markers that they use. All this we observe from them. We observe from them, and then we learn how to pronounce those words without, the problems of mispronunciation. So that our language is intelligible, our language is understandable, comprehensible to the listeners. Therefore, imitation is one of the key factors in pronunciation. So try to imitate the native speaker's pronunciation. But I mean to say native English language speakers. Who are native English language speakers? UK, United Kingdom. We follow received pronunciation that is practiced by educated elite British speakers. educated elite British speakers, we follow that pronunciation because that is a standard pronunciation. We are crazy about American or US pronunciation, but what we learn in our English language labs, especially in the engineering study, is UK pronunciation or British pronunciation. Therefore, imitate UK pronunciation. Right. Overcome the influence of mother tongue. How to overcome that? Practice. Use that correct accent. Stress the word correctly. We will see more of those examples in the slides to come in our discussion in this session. Become a neutral English language communicator or speaker. How to become a neutral English language communicator or a speaker? That is also one of the important areas of our discussion today. Fine, okay. Well, stress patterns need to be practiced. Correct stress patterns. For instance, for example, in a word such as, engineer, it is pronounced as, I have also mentioned the phonetic transcription there on the slide. It is not pronounced as engineer, as said by most of the Telugu speakers. It is not engineer. It is engineer. I repeat, engineer. That means we stress the syllable N. N syllable is stressed here. And according to the rules of stress, if the words are suffixed by ER or ION, the penultimate syllable is stressed. I repeat, if a word is suffixed by ER, if it comes to an end by the letters ER or ION, the penultimate syllable is stressed. So syllabification is equally important here. You should know how many syllables are there in a word. We have monosyllabic, disyllabic, trisyllabic, polysyllabic words. For example, mono is tea, di, coffee, try, camera. Okay. For example, engineer may be taken as polysyllabic words. There are more than 3 syllables. Engineer. Or education, for example. Education. Education. Okay. So, the stress patterns needs to be properly understood, practiced, remembered, retained, and reproduced in the connected speech. So practice past tense markers such as landed, loaded, shooted. We don't pronounce it as landed, loaded, shooted. It has to be landed. Okay, loaded, shooted. Also, plural markers such as cats and dogs. Well, Telugu speakers pronounce it as cats and dogs. Okay? In the spoken communication, the connected speech, it has to be cats and dogs. Okay? Right. Catches, win matches. It is not catches, win matches. Catches, win matches. So the z sound in plural markers. So we need to be careful about the throwing up of these words, pronunciation, utterance of these words. Weak forms and strong forms. For example, he's a doctor. I mean, instead of saying he is a doctor, he's a doctor. Is connected speech and correct usage of weak forms. She's an accountant. Instead of saying she is an accountant, she's an accountant. Okay? Spoken communication. So, neutral English language users or native English language users follow these weak forms and strong forms, past tense markers and plural markers, stress patterns, syllables very carefully. So, let us also follow those things carefully in our spoken communication. Oh, okay. Here we go to the rest of the slides. The beauty of your pronunciation lies in not allowing the listener identify, recognize what your mother tongue is. That means when someone speaks to you in English, if you are not able to identify his mother tongue, he is using neutral English language. Okay. This is neutralization of accent or accent neutralization. Use the modulation of voice, that is intonation, or change in the pitch of the voice, okay, depending on the situation, emotion, and expression, like falling tone, rising tone, fall, rise, fall. Imagine if I use the same kind of tone throughout this video lecture, how do you feel? as listeners, you feel it's so boring, so monotony. It will be monotonous. So during the course of conversation, during the course of communication, falling tone, rising tone should be used, according to the situation and emotion and expression. That's the reason there is a beautiful saying in English that says, emotions need expressions and expressions need language. I repeat, emotions need expressions. Expressions need language, like happiness, sadness, fear, anger, surprise, disgust, all sorts of emotions. Okay, fine. Now, I just wanted to, I'm not explaining each one of these, vowel sounds, consonant sounds in this presentation, but I thought I should bring a phonemic chart, which is very important for the production of these speech sounds without the influence of mother tongue. First of all, these, sounds have to be practiced well. They should be understood and practiced well so that we try to become neutral English language users. The 12 monophthongs, the 8 diphthongs, and the 24 consonant sounds, they should be, seen, practiced, written if necessary. More with the help of online dictionaries. Okay, words. Where does this sound occur? Initial position, medial position, or final position? Consonant sound, vowel sound. So that should be practiced well. I'm not actually focusing on each vowel sound. I'm focusing more on the words that are mispronounced, the phonetic transcription, and the correct pronunciation with the help of examples. Okay, all right. Let us go ahead and see the rest of the examples in this presentation. Many number of these phonemic charts are available online. So download any one of these charts. See them as many times as you can. Write these phonemic symbols as many times as you can so that you will own them and you will use them in phonetic transcription. Or whenever you refer to a dictionary, pronunciation dictionary, you will come to know, okay, this is the right pronunciation of this word. This is the wrong pronunciation of this word. This is how this word should be pronounced. This is where I'm committing a mistake. Something like that. All right. Let's go ahead and see, the rest of the words that are mispronounced by the Telugu speakers when they use English language. Well, the first one for our discussion today is Against. The spelling is Against. Some of the Telugu speakers pronounce this word as against. I repeat, against. Well, the correct pronunciation is given there in the 2 slant bars. That is a phonetic transcription. The correct pronunciation is against. 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 Well, all the countries across the globe have been fighting against the terrorism. Also look at the second word. Some of the Telugu users use this word as manager. Manager, which is wrong. Then what is correct? If you see the phonetic transcription there, manager. Manager. That's the correct phonetic transcription and pronunciation. So where do I get these phonetic transcriptions? Pronunciation dictionaries. There are so many online dictionaries that are available. Cambridge Online Pronunciation Dictionary. I've taken most of this material from that. I have mentioned also in the references section. So go explore that in this online pronunciation dictionaries. You will get so many of them. Follow a standard dictionary to use correct pronunciation in your spoken communication. All right. Now look at this other word, WORST. WORST. Some of the Telugu speakers pronounce this as worst, which is wrong. Then what is right? Worst. That is correct. Worst. That is right, not worst. It is a superlative of bad, lowest quality, unpleasant. This was the worst meal I have ever eaten. Or it was the worst moment of my life, she admitted. But you cannot say, this was the worst meal I have ever eaten. This is a common mistake that is done by the Telugu speakers. Always say, that was the worst meal I have ever eaten. So we need to be careful in those areas. I mean to say the Telugu speaker should be careful in those areas. I don't mean all of them commit these mistakes, but some of them. Some of them. All right. And that is where that happens because of mother tongue influence. That mispronunciation happens because of mother tongue influence, which should be avoided, which should be overcome to become a neutral English language user or speaker. Well, the next word is in our discussion. I have heard one of the politicians using this word as burst, B-U-R-S-T. Well, it is not burst, it has to be burst. I repeat, burst. To break open or apart suddenly, or to make something do that. The political leader bursted into hot temper during the course of his speech in a public meeting. Varun was bursting to tell everyone the news. But you cannot say Varun was bursting to tell everyone the news, which will be very odd and weird. So let us not use such kind of pronunciation in our spoken communication. Okay, fine. Well, Telugu speakers also pronounce the letter Z as with the sound G. For instance, the word Z-E-R-O is mispronounced as Giro. He got a 0 in his exams, which is wrong. Then what is right? Zero. It is not Giro, it is 0. Heavy rain has reduced visibility almost to 0, but not 0. You see? Now, another word that is water, but not water. Water. The smell of the bread is making my mouth water. You see, W, whenever we pronounce this consonant W, the lips are rounded. Whereas, when you pronounce V, sound, it's a labiodental sound where the lower lip touches the lower teeth ridge. Then we say van. Okay? Van. You see, my lower lip is touching my lower teeth ridge. Whereas when I pronounce the letter, consonant W, my lips are rounded. Water, but not water, which is mispronounced by some of the, Telugu speakers. Alright. Similarly, words such as nurse, curse, purse, these are mispronounced as nurse, curse, purse. I mean, the Telugu letters are pronounced very clearly. So if you apply the same kind of pronunciation while pronouncing English letters or words, that is where mispronunciation might occur. So we need to be careful in pronouncing these words as nurse, curse, purse, but not nurse, curse, and purse. Okay, fine. Now, interestingly, the very word pronunciation is mispronounced as pronunciation. Some of them, they even write the spelling as pronunciation. I was taken aback. I was surprised to see that. Well, the very word pronunciation is mispronounced as pronunciation, which is wrong. Then what is right? Pronunciation. Right. The way in which a word or letter is said is pronunciation, or said correctly, or the way in which a language is spoken is pronunciation. Her pronunciation of English is improving. His pronunciation of English is improving. But you don't say his pronunciation of English is improving, which is wrong. Okay. Similarly, the word D-A-N-C-E is mispronounced by the Telugu speakers as dance. Dance. Well, the correct pronunciation is dance. Okay. Rajiv is learning cultural dance these days, but we shouldn't say Rajiv is learning cultural dance these days. Okay, fine. Look at these other words. Cough, cough, or not cough, cough. Okay, the smoke made me cough. I coughed all night long. Some of them even miswrite the spelling of cough as C-A-U-F-U-G-H, cough, which is wrong. It has to be C-O-U-G-H, cough. Similarly, in the same fashion, some of these speakers of Telugu pronounce the word A-W-A-Y as yave, yave, which is wrong. Then what is right? Away, away, go away, sped away, fled away, but not go away, sped away, or fled away is wrong. Incorrect pronunciation. So I have given the phonetic transcription of away also there within the 2 slant bars for your easy understanding. Alright. Now cold, cold. She caught a cold at school. Another important word that we should discuss here is the word national is mispronounced as it has to be national, Indian national, but it is mispronounced as national, which is wrong. National is correct. National, not national. I'm an Indian national, not I'm Indian national will be wrong. In the same fashion, it is not class, C-L-A-S-S, is not pronounced as class. According to UK pronunciation, it has to be class, class. Right. Well, some of the Telugu speakers pronounce this word E-D-U-C-A-T-I-O-N as education. Like in Telugu, as they write the letter, okay, da and ya and other things, they pronounce this word E-D-U-C-A-T-I-O-N as education, which is wrong. The word education is not stressed on the syllable d or j, but it is stressed on the syllable k. You can see that clearly in the phonetic transcription that I mentioned on the slide. So, the correct pronunciation of the word education is education. Education. I told you according to the rules of stress, if a word is suffixed by ER or ION, the penultimate syllable is stressed. That means the last but one syllable is stressed. So education, not education, as mispronounced by some of the Telugu speakers. Right. Education can transform the mindsets or mindset of an individual. Look at the other interesting word which is mispronounced. Some of them mispronounce this word as yerth. I repeat, yerth. Well, the correct pronunciation of that is earth. Earth, not yerth. Okay? See the difference in pronunciation. Observe and imitate the correct sounds. Earth looks incredibly beautiful from space. Earth looks incredibly beautiful from space. Okay. Look at this. This will be really funny. Girl in the world. I repeat, girl in the world. Just like worst, which is wrong. Then what is right? Girl in the world, but not girl in the world. Girl in the world. You see, R is almost silent there. Similarly, the word C-O-N-T-E-N-T. If it is a noun, it is pronounced as content. If it is a verb, it is pronounced as content. Content. Look at the examples. You will understand it in a better way. It's a very stylish and beautiful film, but it lacks content. I repeat, it's a very stylish and beautiful film, but it lacks content as a noun. Content as a noun. You don't pronounce it as content. C-O-N-T-E-N-T. If it is a noun, it has to be pronounced as content, but not content. Then which is pronounced as content? If that word is used as a verb in a sentence, then it is pronounced as content. How? You see this example. My explanation seemed to content him. I repeat, my explanation seemed to content him. Content him. Alright? I hope the difference is clear to all of you. Let me go and see. Let us go and see the other word. Now, this is again a very commonly mispronounced word. P-L-A-G-I-A-R-I-S-M. The word P-L-A-G-I-A-R-I-S-M. This word, when it is used as a noun, that is a noun actually. Plagiarism is a noun. Plagiarize. He plagiarized. That's a verb. Now, this is mispronounced by some of the Telugu speakers as plagiarism. The G is very weirdly mispronounced as plagiarism. It is not plagiarism or it is not plagiarism. Different mispronunciations there. The correct pronunciation of that word is plagiarism. Plagiarism. What is the meaning of that? Well, the meaning of that word is the process or practice of using another person's ideas or work and pretending that it is your own. I repeat, the process or practice of using another person's ideas or work and pretending that it is your own. Well, the techniques for detecting plagiarism are becoming increasingly advanced. I repeat, the techniques for detecting plagiarism are becoming increasingly advanced in the form of different kinds of softwares. Urkund software, there are different kinds of softwares that have come. That software will easily identify what is the percentage of plagiarism in a paper that is published, in research articles, thesis that is submitted to universities, so on and so forth. So be careful and pronounce the word P-L-A-G-I-A-R-I-S-M carefully as plagiarism, but not plagiarism. Alright. Look at this another interesting and useful example. Some of the Telugu speakers pronounce this word C-H-E-F as chuff, but the correct pronunciation of that word is shuff, but not chuff. Okay? So who is a chef? A skilled and trained cook who works in a hotel or a restaurant. Again, it is not a restaurant, it is restaurant. Especially the most important cook in a restaurant. He is one of the top chefs in this restaurant. Right. See the other word. B-R-O-C-H-U-R-E. I repeat, B-R-O-C-H-U-R-E. The correct pronunciation of this word is brochure. Brochure. It is not brochure. 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 A small or a type of small magazine that contains pictures and information on a product or company. That is a brochure. Brochure. Well, this word, F-I-X-E-D, is mispronounced as fixed by some of the Telugu speakers, which is wrong. Then what is right? Fixed. Fixed. The phonetic transcription is also mentioned there on the slide. Fixed deposit. A fixed price. Fixed interest rates. Is the date of the wedding fixed yet? But you don't say a fixed price or fixed interest rates, or is the date of the wedding fixed yet? No, fixed yet. Okay, so you need to be careful in those areas of pronunciation of these words. Again, the word address is mispronounced as address, which is wrong. Then what is right? Address. Address. Okay? Business or home address. It is account, but not account. It is not account. 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 I need to withdraw some money from my account. But you should never say, I need to withdraw some money from my account. That is where mispronunciation occurs. That's where we should be careful in our pronunciation. That's where this mother tongue influence should be overcome. Look at the other word. Same kind of pronunciation. Amount. Amount, but not amount. Amount. They were making a tremendous amount of noise last night. But you should never say, they were making a tremendous amount of noise last night. Okay, right. Well, this word which is mispronounced is Human. Some of them, they pronounce this as human. It is not human, it is human. We don't highlight the letter H there. We just pronounce it as human. Human. According to UK pronunciation. The human body is composed of about 60% water. Of course, I make mistakes. I'm only human. But you don't say, I'm human. Right? Fine. Similarly, half an hour. But it is not half an hour. Some of them very weirdly pronounce this word as hour, especially Telugu speakers. It has to be R, not hour. Okay. Well, the word naturally is mispronounced as naturally. It is not naturally, it is naturally. He is naturally good at all sports. Question. Question, the word. Some of them mispronounce this word as question. It is not question. 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 Right? I'm afraid you have completely misunderstood the question, but not question. Let's be careful in these areas of pronunciation. Okay. Well, the word program is mispronounced as program, which is wrong. So let's be careful in pronouncing the word programme as program, not program. All right. Ratification. It is pronounced as ratification, which is ratification, but not ratification. The process of making an agreement official. Look at this interesting word, another interesting word. It should be pronounced as cucumber, but not cucumber. Some of the Telugu words mispronounce this word as cucumber. It has to be cucumber. Cucumbers are usually sliced and eaten raw in salads. But you don't say cucumbers are usually sliced and eaten raw in salads. Okay, fine. Well, the way of greeting. Some of them mispronounce this word as thank you. Thankyu. Well, it is not thank you. It is not a water tank that we are talking about there. It has to be thank you. Thank you. Look at the phonetic transcription there on the slide. Thank you. It is not thank you. That was a delicious lunch. Thank you. Okay. Right. Thank you for my birthday present. Now, another important word but mispronounced word by Telugu speakers. Some of them mispronounce this as gesture, which is wrong, but it is gesture. Gesture, gesture. A movement of the hands, arms or head to express an idea or feeling. He made no answer, but walked on, gesturing for me to follow. But you don't say, he made no answer, but walked on, gesturing for me to follow. That is wrong pronunciation. Gesturing is right, not gesturing. Okay. Another word, restaurant. Restaurant, but not restaurant, which is mispronounced. Smoking is not allowed in this restaurant. They do really good food at that restaurant, and it is not very expensive either. Neither. Right? Correct pronunciation of that word. Not either, neither, wrong. Either, neither, either, neither, neither. Food, we pronounce that word as food, which is wrong. It has to be food, food. Next word in our discussion, CAMERA is mispronounced as camera. It is not camera, it has to be camera. Camera. It's a trisyllabic word, camera. They were caught on camera as they brutally attacked a man. Look at this word. Some of them pronounce this word, some of the Telugu speakers pronounce this word as extra, E-X-T-R-A, which is very weird. Well, the correct pronunciation of this word is extra, extra. Some students needed extra help, not extra help. Careful in the pronunciation. Look at the other word, government. It is mispronounced as government. Government. It is not government. It has to be government. Government. A government inquiry has been launched. Similarly, circle, C-A-R-C-L-E, circle inspector. No, wrong. Circle inspector. We sat in a circle. Circle, not circle. Let's be careful in the pronunciation. Well, we have seen so many interesting words for our discussion today. We need to listen to more of these native English language users' English accent and imitate them. Exploit the opportunities to use English with proper diction and stress, modulation, intonation of tone. Frequently visit online pronunciation dictionaries for correct pronunciation and phonetic transcription. Phonetic transcription. Because that transcription will tell you how many syllables you have there, which syllable is stressed, how is it properly pronounced. Otherwise, we are always in a dilemma. In a dilemma. Not dilemma. Dilemma. Right. That means we are doubtful. Now, learn the sound features and the diverse sounds of English language which are not present in your mother tongue. So some of the sounds that you have in English language, you don't have them in your mother tongue. Therefore, we need to learn those sounds. For example, thank you. It's not thank you, right? Or words, the R sounds are very, very slightly pronounced, not worst kind of things. Or for instance, for example, words that we discussed, it has to be extra, but not extra. Those words have to be carefully understood, learned, remembered, and used in spoken communication or connected speech. Speak like a neutral English language user or communicator. Avoid the substandard expressions and substandard pronunciation. Because the moment you mispronounce a word, the listener will lose interest in your spoken communication. He doesn't feel like listening to you. So try to be a neutral English language user. Overcome the influence of mother tongue. That will enhance your confidence levels in speaking. That's where we need to imitate the sounds that are produced by these, native English language users. Okay. Use simple but correct English words in general and sounds in particular. The words need not be very complex, very complicated. Your English words and language can be simple, but correct in the production of sounds, correct in the usage of sounds. That will make your language beautiful. All right. Well, the dictionary that has been referred for this discussion is Cambridge Online Pronunciation Dictionary. The phonetic transcriptions have been taken from there. The examples are taken from there. So please consult this dictionary, which is one of the standard ones that is available online. You will definitely enjoy, understanding the correct pronunciation of these words, overcoming the influence of mother tongue, and you will surely become a very neutral English language user. I hope the session has been useful and meaningful to all of you. So watch more of IARE YouTube videos. Thank you for watching this program. I'm Sunil Solomon Philip. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.